I'm Natalie. So, and we have such a tiny group today. You guys are just going to be overwhelmed by us because we're going to want to help and help and help. We're just going to go through a little bit of a presentation that we have for you here, and what we want you to take away from this is kind of just what is really the file structure on the computer. What does it really mean? Where are these files stored? When you put your pictures out there, where on earth did they go? And how do you find them when you want to send them to somebody or work with them? Okay, so you know, the computer is just a big filing cabinet. It's just like filing cabinet that you have in your house to put all your bills and your taxes and everything else in it. And anything can be stored on there. So your documents, photos, there's system files that make, you know, Windows run or make your Mac run, videos, and they're all just stored in different folders. So it's very much like having a file cabinet in your house. And you're going to label those folders so you know what's what, and you're going to give things names so you know what they pertain to. So that's just it. It's just a big filing cabinet. So think of it in terms of that. Just a filing cabinet inside that box sitting on your computer or inside that laptop. So we have documents, pictures, data, we have system files. System files are those files on your computer that you won't ever really see or touch or look at, or you don't want to anyway. You don't want to mess with those, right? Because that could jeopardize what we're trying to do. And then we use Windows Explorer to look at these files, to find them, to view them, to move them to places. You know, anymore we all have a computer with a CD burner or a DVD burner, or you know, we have these huge hard drives where we can store all this information and all these files and songs and videos. So we can use Internet Explorer as kind of our desktop to look at everything, find out where everything is at. And we're going to be really hands-on today just because we have a small group and everybody can kind of walk through this. Windows Explorer is going to probably look a little bit different than what's on this screen just because of the operating system. But if everybody wants to go there, we'll kind of talk through some of this. And I'll show you how these files, much like a filing cabinet, all have a name, they all have a place. There's different ways to look at these. So to get there, we're going to right click on that start button down in the lower left corner. And Explorer. Now let's just go there. We're just going to see what we find. So this is Windows Explorer. It looks a little bit different than what's on the screen, so that's why I want you to be able to see it. So we right click on that start button down there. Right click on the start button. We're not going to Internet Explorer. We're just going to go to Windows Explorer. So right click down there. Instead of left click. And then choose Explore. Choose Explore. Right.
Oh.
So that's your Windows Explorer. So this over here. Yeah. So we have a filing cabinet, right? Yeah, it just looks a little bit different. Her things are expanded.
Okay.
You see how you have this file structure down there, down the left side? It's a filing cabinet, basically. So you have a C drive. Nearly everybody's got a C drive. Do we see that? It says local disk C. Expand my computer. If it has a plus next to it, that means you can click on it and there's stuff underneath it. Okay, so there's our C drive. That's our drive on our computer. Nearly everybody's got that. That's the basis for all of our file structure. That's where all of our system files are hidden. So we're going to find all the folders that we're going to use to store things, documents, pictures, somewhere under that in all those branches. Just like a tree. You know, we have those main branches, and then you click that plus sign, they expand into other branches. And you can kind of just explore through there and play and see what you got. So when we're in a document, by WordPad. And we want to save that document. We're going to choose somewhere in this structure where to put it. So go to Start. Go to All Programs. Over on the lower left side. Go to Accessories. Let's go into Notepad. Just go in there. It's a simple program. So we can use Notepad to write a letter, or, Notepad's not the most friendly thing to use to write a letter, but we can go in here and we can just type something. Just type whatever you want in there. Just throw a couple words in there. It doesn't matter. Okay, so then up on the board here, we've got how to save a file or photo. So the File menu, File, Edit, View, this is, on nearly any Windows program you're going to be in. We saw that yesterday on Internet Explorer, right? Nearly any program we're in, we're going to see File, Edit, View, Help, with a number of options underneath each one. Well, File is kind of our main guy there. If we click on File, give it one left click, we're going to get all kinds of options that drop down. So we want to go to Save As, because that leaves it open for us to give it whatever name we want and put it wherever we want, right? So when we hit Save As, we have this similar structure now.
Okay, you need to go
Go back to Notepad.
Oh.
Click on the other window there.
On this one?
Yeah, that one.
I don't want it.
Yeah, just click anywhere on that page. There you go.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. And then you see the Save As?
Mhm.
Just click go up. Okay, so now we have a new window, right, on top of that one. And so here we have a box that says File Name. And we can name it whatever we want. So right now it's highlighted blue, more than likely, or you can backspace that. And let's just call it Test, or call it your name, or call it whatever you want. And File Name. And then you see at the top where it says Save In. Well, it wants to know what folder in our filing cabinet we want to put this. The top of the box here. Now we have circled up here. I'm kind of following through there. So see here where it says Save In.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I got you.
Yeah, no. So then it has a drop down arrow over there. So you can either choose the drop down arrow. Up here it's marked with the number 5 on the board. That gives you a list of places that you can put this file that you named Test, or your name, or whatever you named it. And we can choose a location where we want to put it. So in our case, we've got My Documents right there. That seems like a logical place, right? Because it's truly your document. So let's click on My Documents. So that top box now says My Documents, right? So it says Save In. So we know that's where we're going to put this. We gave it a file name. Right? So then now we have a button that says Save. So if we click on that, it's going to save the file, right? And so takes us back to our document. Because from here now we could add some more stuff to it, we could change it, we could, whatever you want to do with it. You need to add something to it. So we just have to know that we told it to go somewhere and it went there. Okay? So let's move on. I don't know what we have here. No, I don't, I'm not sure. I'm not really following that. Okay, so we have this document. You can close this document with the red X, right? We hit the red X in the corner and we close it out. So our document's gone. So we still have Windows Explorer open. Because we open that by right-clicking on the start menu. So we can see on the left side now, we still have that tree structure. Do you all see my documents in that tree? So click on my documents. And then we should see the file that we saved. Okay, so just understanding the relationship between you're in a document, you're saving a picture, you've told it where to go. I think sometimes that's the most challenging part, right? Is remembering where we told it to go in the first place so that we can go find it again later. So a lot of newer operating systems now have libraries. So you'll get, you know, my libraries, my pictures, my music, my documents, similar to this. As long as you know where you put it, it shouldn't be too hard to find. We also have the ability to search, so we can go over that. Because maybe we just have no idea where we put it because we did it a month ago, and we just can't find it anywhere. So we can do that next. But so that's kind of any program that you're in, you're gonna have this save as type. In our case on Notepad, we put a name in there, and it just said it was a text file. You know, gave it a name of .txt. If you're in the program, it's gonna probably default to what it should be anyway. You could change it if you needed it to be something else. In your situation, you probably don't need to do that. You know, if you're working with pictures and you need to make it a different kind of picture, you could change that. But when you're working on a document, you're writing a letter, something like that, it's going to default for you. So you don't necessarily need to change that. And of course, we hit save, and then we were done. So we successfully did that, right? Let's look at our little jump drives. Everybody has one of these. Give me this. We're going to kind of use the same point when we talk about cameras. We talk about everything pretty much now has a USB, right? This little flat guy here. Take the end off of this. This is a jump drive, a flash drive, a memory stick, whatever we want to call it. This works really similar to your computer. It's like a little miniature hard drive where you can save information. This plugs into the USB port on your computer. Your laptop will have one, your desktop will have one. This acts as a second drive, or a third drive, or however many drives you have. And it will give this thing a drive letter. So why don't we plug it in and just see what happens? Because then everybody can get familiar with what happens when you pop it. So let's locate a USB drive on the front of our tower. Yeah, in front of the tower. It's in that little black strip there on the right side. Okay, so these computers are pretty smart. They do most of the work for us. And so did you just see this pop up where it says removal disk E? Yeah, that computer detected that you inserted that into that computer, and now you have a new drive, a device, a new place to store things. It's going to work similar when we plug your camera in. Most of these computers are smart enough to know that you plug that camera in, and so now you have a new removable drive, a removable device. So now we can go back to Notepad, we can create a document, we can save it in here. So it works very similar. It's in our tree structure now. We added this piece of hardware to the computer, and now it's an option to save things to it. You can close that down. That box will pop up for you in case you want to drag stuff to it. Hello. So here's something that we can do with this. Go back to your Explorer. Close this. So you're in Explorer already. You're already there.
I'm there, okay.
Okay. So we have this removable disk, right? And gave it the letter E. Did everybody get E? They plug that in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because we had a C already. right? Most of the time, we have a CD-ROM drive or a disk drive. That's gonna be